Hey, welcome back. Fitz and Heather here with another podcast. And this may end up being a two-parter. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Maybe a two-parter. But today we want to talk about the 4 types of communication that great leaders have in common. It's literally a title I wrote down over 20 years ago, and these notes I wrote down over 20 years ago from my then mentor, still a mentor, and friend, and now integrity partner together, Barry Clarkson, old friend of ours. And I very well remember the initial time he taught this, and subsequent times he taught these 4 types of communication that great leaders all have in common. Why is communication important?
Well, I am no John Maxwell, but if the book of Heather could boil down leadership, I think it boils down to character and communication. Those 2 things, if we can master those 2 things, then we can lead people. And I recently saw something or read something that really struck me about leading people is the motivation really is more an act of service to a community. Like, I want to be a leader because I want to make a community of people better. Right?
Yeah.
You have to really kind of boil that down. Well, if we're trying to help that community be better, one of the most important skills that we can master, I believe, is communication. The ability to take the vision and that you might have in your heart and mind and help the other people see it the same way. That's such an important piece of taking a group of people from where they are to where they want to go, is helping them understand how, which is the power of communication.
Right on. So let's jump into it, huh?
Okay.
The 4 types. First type of communication is motivation, praising others. And I was talking, listening to a podcast actually this morning, driving back from the doctor's office, and it was talking about the motivation that people have for being leaders. Some do it for money or power or fame, and there's a lot of documentaries out right now about all that, like about Uber and about WeWork and Theranos. Is that how you say it? Anyway, it's all these documentaries that are out about this, about really sort of highlighting highlighting the hubris, they called it, highlighting the machismo of being a leader and what that looks like. But really, what is your motivation for being a leader? And I think, when we talk about why we lead, what do we want to do? We want to help people get from their point A to their point B. And when we talk about motivation, that's kind of that activation. That's a word that you use, that activation of, I'm not a big, when I think of motivation, I often think of like the cheesy, Richard Simmons, sweating to the oldies. Yeah, you can do it. And the videos out there, the workouts. I think about that kind of motivation. That's not me. I don't do that very well. Instead, what I'd like to do is, from a motivation standpoint, I want to challenge somebody to step up and be bigger and greater than what they did today, right? And what can I say or do that's going to encourage them to move out? I know that different people are motivated by different things.
Right.
Some people are not motivated by that Lamborghini.
Right.
Some people are not motivated about having that house in Italy.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not motivated by a Lamborghini. I drive a pickup truck. I love it. Right. I don't have to worry about speed bumps. But I don't want a house in Italy. I'd love to visit. I don't want a house there. Some people are motivated by getting out of debt. Some people are motivated by allowing their spouse to get out of that job that's so toxic for them. Some people are motivated by the money that they could give away to their church. Some people are motivated just through sheer competition, and they see somebody that they know and love and respect and go, I can beat them. So everybody's got different motivations that will make them move.
Right.
As a leader, you have to figure out what makes that person move.
That's right.
And then implement that and use that to get them to move.
Right. Which is why a lot of times a great motivating force when you're a leader is praising other people. And because the reason that works so often for all of us is sometimes it does create a competition. We talk about the competitive spirit in a sales force. I think we tend to attract competitive people, and competitive doesn't mean that I need to beat someone else. It means that I'm being competitive with myself. I want to be the best version of myself. But the reason that it's so important to highlight the success of other people as a leader, and that will motivate the masses, is because it helps them believe at a deeper level that they can do it too. So that's why we love stories in our organization where you've got excuse busters. Like we love talking about Steph G, who rode the bus to get to her appointments. We love talking about Michelle Alleman, who's undergoing chemo and cancer over the last 6 months, living at MD Anderson and still beating most of the people that are listening to me on my voice today. We love the ability to praise other people who overcome the obstacles in their lives. Like recently we had Ryan Clough on our
Spring
Forward meeting, because she's a stay-at-home mom with little bitty kids around her feet, like talking in the background when she's on appointments. But she talked about how she handles that with such grace and uses it to make herself really real with the clients. So we praise other people because we want to motivate you to believe that you can do it too. What obstacle are you facing? But this is the way that a leader has to think about how to communicate with their people. How do I highlight the stories of what's going on to help motivate that internal belief of every individual listening to me that you can do it too? Motivation is an activating force. You know it's worked for you when you're listening to a podcast or listening to a weekly team call, or you're on our Fitz group call and you hang up and you feel a need to go do something. That meant something motivated you. And as a leader, you got to diagnose, you got to look at what was that, and then you use that to help motivate your people as well.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Want to go to number 2?
Yep, let's do it.
Encouragement. I heard it recently said, encouragement, literally putting courage in someone else. Maybe putting courage in yourself. So many bosses or managers, and I use that manager term derogatorily. These are not leaders. So many bosses or managers, a lot of coaches, they're always looking to catch somebody doing something wrong. You did that wrong. And they beat them over the head about it. You did it wrong. You're wrong. Right? And a leader catches them doing it right.
Yeah. And
so as a leader, you're constantly watching to see your people do something right, whether it's your kids or your agents or whoever you're leading. You're looking for them to do that little thing that's right. And when they do it right, go, hey, whoa, stop the presses. What you just did was awesome. Do you have to go over the top every time? No. Sometimes it's like, hey, I noticed how you treated your little sister. And I really liked how you did that, man. That was really cool. I'm really proud of you for acting that way. And sometimes it's over the top. But it's that encouragement of just catching them doing something good and then telling them, pointing out to them, here's what you did that is good. We want more of that. That is going to help you get from your point A to your point B.
Right.
That was good.
Yeah. I think of encouragement. I love that when you said it's putting courage in someone. Because sometimes I feel like encouragement is calling out as a leader where you see that person in the future that they can't currently see themselves. We use this a lot in parenting, right? You see your kid and you see the potential. You're calling out in them, regardless of what their current result or behavior might be. You're calling out the character that you see inside of them that will bring that result or that behavior in the future. To me, that's really an ultimate form of encouragement, and as leaders, we have to practice that. And sometimes it requires a little extra dose of patience and kindness and love to see past a current behavior or a current result and call out something better in the future. I think it's really important, though, as you practice this art of calling out good behaviors, like Fitz talked about, and calling out what you see could be the potential in that person. It's very important with encouragement that you are genuine. You've got to be sincere and genuine in the things that you say, because people, they feed on that. They know whether or not if you can't just say something kind and think that person is going to absorb that and bring the courage inside of them. But the thing is when you call out the lion that you see inside of someone who's behaving like a lamb, and you're like, I see the lion in you. Well, then the next time they're running out an appointment, they're now seeing the lion themselves, and it changes the way they engage with a client or engage in that appointment or they engage with another agent. So, yes, we can grow as leaders to become masters of encouragement.
That's really good. It was really good. I want to land it now.
Yeah.
We thought we might cover a third one now and then the fourth one on its own, but I think we're going to go ahead and land it now because I think that's good. Those first two. So motivation and encouragement, the four types of communication. We'll cover the next two in the next episode. Good to see you guys. We didn't really see you. We're looking at this black eye of a camera. But we love you. Now that you know,
You know.